Hey everyone, welcome back to Poplar Preparedness. Big updates on fish production, more fires, South Africa, Australia, Germany, UK, USA, and others checking in on what's happening in their countries on their store shelves and supplies. Our self-sufficiency tip of the day, of course, and this one's a doozy because it is the only way to truly become self-sufficient. Hopefully that's enough of a teaser right there. You want to stick around for that. APHIS, which is the USDA's reports on chicken cullings, has been dying down, so I'm going to replace that here with tracking wheat prices and corn prices. So May 17th is where we had our peak of wheat prices, where it topped out at $12.77 a bushel, $1,277 a bushel, which was an all-time high. It came back a little bit, and now it's kind of hanging near the peak. Corn peaked April 29th at $818 a bushel, which was also an all-time high. It has pulled back a little bit, but it is also hanging out near the peak. Soybeans are currently at a 10-year high at $17.32 a bushel, which was only exceeded in 2012. All right, Food Production Watch. The Witness in western Montana says the grain mill near us burned down alongside all of its stock. Really glad I bought my grain a week earlier. The same amount of grain from other sources costs about 4 times the price. Lots of small farmers just selling out of shrinking flocks to cope with the extra costs. So, folks, more reports of farmers choosing to get out of the business or start dropping livestock. Cassandra, I'm in the UK. I work in the bakery industry. I strongly recommend getting flour before the price increases again. Use the Jubilee as an excuse and buy some extra to put aside what is on the shelves. What is on the shelves now is cheaper and better quality than what it will be in the autumn. Also, it looks like specialty products will get restricted. Therefore, there will always be bread, but not the variety or quality that we're used to. Good advice out there. Sharon T. says a friend is traveling from the East Coast to the Midwest, noticed most of the land has not been planted for the season's crops. They are reporting only last year's wheat is growing, 80% less than last year. 80% less than last year. No corn or watering fields in Kansas seen from the highway. Folks, we continue to hear more and more troubling reports about the state of both the winter wheat harvest as well as crops in central United States right now. Most farmers are late getting their crops in the ground this year. Hopefully that does not impact yields, but it can. Trish R. I just received an email today about the formula that the U.S. received from Germany on Sunday. It is now Friday, and it states in the email that they will be deciding soon on where they will be distributing it. So they've been holding it since Sunday. So we're getting this formula in from out of country, but it's just sitting there waiting for bureaucrats to make decisions. Typical. Rick S. New Zealand fish farmers had to dispose of 1,000 tons of salmon. Oh, you're going to love this reason. Heat shock from warming ocean. Yep. The water was too warm, so we can't use that fish. They claimed to shut down 3 operations until they can find cooler water. Wow. Australian government is buying back large fintail commercial licenses to try and protect stocks, same as in eastern Canada. So not just Canada is restricting fishing, but it looks like that's happening both in New Zealand and in Australia as well, folks. We need to keep an eye on that because a lot of people eat fish, right? Am I right? All right, reports from you guys on the store shelves and things going on. Liz S. from England. I've been watching for months to actually see what products are universally missing in most shops. So this is her experience over a longer period of time. And this is what I have noticed. Paper products, including female products, oils, coffee beans, ground coffee. Shelves are quite sparse. So for now, months, this is the situation. So for the last number of months. Don W., Northern Ontario. Pasta is in short supply, as is sugar and flour. Swimming pools and hot tubs are in large supply, so that's good. We can swim while we starve. Summer clothing and shoes in very short supply. All right. That's, of course, a reference to a previous video. Saw W., Upstate New York, North Country Walmart. Aisle for what was canned goods, like canned soups, broths, meats, beans, etc., is slowly being restocked with random single variety items like one kind of canned chicken, one kind of salad dressing, ketchup, wet wipes, boxed potatoes in 2 foot by 2 foot sections. It was so disturbing and unbelievable. I'm already forgetting what I witnessed. Aldi has been doing this same restock method for months. Now Walmart, it's not good. From what I'm gathering there, and I'm trying to think if I'm seeing that too at my Walmart, where basically he's saying that the variety is dropping of selection. So you're basically just going down to one product, like one kind of ketchup. Of course, that's the way Aldi works, which I love, but that just means more companies are singling out what they're producing, trying to focus in on their mainline products. Molly Paints, Minneapolis area. Went to a super Target last night. No peanut butter of any kind. Not a single jar or to-go snack pack of any brand, nothing. There was some Nutella, but that's it. Other than the grocery items appeared to be the new normal levels. JDX, Southeast Texas, HEB. Last night, I went to HEB last night and was surprised to see 2 more brands of formula on the shelves, but the formula section was still very bare. Cereal was low, and the prices there had gone up again. Oatmeal was low in stock, and also sausage, which is the first tier. They had moved the canning section and replaced it with fancy vinegars that were all fronted and spaced apart oddly. Produce was slim, and most of the selections were pretty sad, really expensive. The store also had a malfunction with their freezers, again, so the entire freezer section was completely empty. This is the 6th time this year that it has been like this. I'm not sure as to why and couldn't bring myself to ask at the checkout because I was too busy trying to make sure the prices were all the same since things have been going up so fast. Ninja TV says, my local store in Vegas, Skippy peanut butter, is getting wrecked because since that's all people will buy. The other brands they get like a line or two, so like a line or two of products, and they were empty. But powdered peanut butter, full and overstocked. So if you're looking for peanut butter, maybe look for the powdered stuff, which lasts a whole lot longer too for shelf life. This is at Walmart. Meats in general still there. Coffee has a few holes. For the health nuts in the coffee section, MCT oil is no longer there, and certain creamers gone. Box of 60 eggs going up to $14 by the looks, was at $18 at one point, then rolled back because no one's buying at that price. Automotive oils were short for a long time now, and now we're getting them again. $15.40. Our shops have been out for months. It's the kind of oil, right? Have been out for months, and we get maybe a case of that, a delivery, and it doesn't last long. 0W-16 grade. If you have a Toyota, I highly suggest getting some for stocking because that was one of the first grades to stop being shipped. They don't mention it, but just from those comments, it sounds like they work at the Walmart, so or have insider information on that. The Witness, we already heard from them before, but Western Montana went to the local grocers. The fresh vegetables were spendy, and the bell pepper I got was rotted and molding on the inside. Had to take it back. The onions were $2 a piece. Crazy prices, even if they were big. The pasta aisle was tiny and full of off-brands. Same bag of rice I bought 3 months ago now costs $7 more. Aradia in Victoria, Australia, fresh green beans from Queensland are $26 per kilo due to New South Wales and Queensland floods. I'm reading the codes here. Petrol prices, etc. This also impacts other fruits and vegetables grown in Queensland and transported to South Victoria. There are also gaps where fresh food should be, but isn't available, so it may be 1 week there 1 week and not the other. Boss Dog in Rockhampton, Australia yesterday. Oil is back on shelves except for sunflower oil. Only a small amount and very expensive. Diabetics should stock up. Creon enzymes not available and hard to get anywhere. Crochet and Knit says Aldi in Germany is rationing more rice and pasta. Also strange here, oil is scarce, if at all, and then rationed. In the town next to us, they had an oil section fully stocked and no rationing. So different from town to town, it looks like. Marie, here in the Netherlands, they now changed the amount of diapers, brand Pampers, in a package, and the price went up. I also see more bones in the meat and the pig meat and the chicken. They leave the bones in there and make the cost higher. I've been seeing shortages in a lot of things and talked to many people. The drugstore said that they had problems ordering anything. The local supermarket, Lidl, said it had a hard time with soups, pasta, rice, cooking oil, and canned goods. Other supermarkets said they cannot get much of anything, but also their own brand is seeing shortages. Baby formula is still on the shelves, but is getting bought up fast by concerned parents. Don't blame them. Local pet stores said dog and cat foods in cans are difficult to order, as well as wood shavings for rabbit and small animals for in their cage. Here they also changed the amount of pasta in another store, jumbo, to 400 grams from the 500 grams, and it is the same price, of course. You get less for the same price. Parrot Africa says, in South Africa, of course, I spoke to the manager that delivered the replacement rice. He admitted there is a huge supply chain issue. The world will go down in the economy. Checkers confirmed Cape Point tuna recall. So a tuna recall in South Africa. So I can see more recalls in South Africa this year. And our self-reliance tip of the day, and that's a little bit of a misnomer because I'm going to talk to you about not being self-reliant, because what I want to talk to you about is building that community, because there is really no way that you can truly become self-sufficient. So you need to build this community of people. Now, I think a lot of people hear that and they say that I need to find a group of people that I can trust 100%. And I'm going to say no. What you need to do is you need to create groups of people that you trust at varying levels, right? Just because you interact with somebody or they're on your team doesn't necessarily mean like they're in the inner sanctum, right? You need to think about different levels of trust, okay? So like your spouse or other MAG members, mutual assistance group members, may be on your inner core, okay? These are people that you absolutely trust. These are people that, you know, your kids can go off with, and you trust them to watch out for the things you care about the most without real hesitation, right? Now, you got to decide where somebody is on that, okay? Just because they're in your MAG doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be trusted fully. But if you have a very small mag, you got to decide what level of trust is appropriate, right? And then like maybe your family members are a larger group. You may not trust them fully, like kids, right? Kids have a tendency to make stupid choices. We love them, but they can make stupid choices, right? That's why you have someone else watching over them, maybe. But you may have adult members of the family, people who didn't stock up, people who are now dependent upon you that you're taking care of, and you may not trust them fully, right? You may need to have somebody watch them. Even though they're an adult and fully capable, it may not be that they may hurt themselves, but rather it may be that they may make a stupid decision that may jeopardize your family, right? So a little bit larger there, your family members, you're going to take care of them. You love them, and they are people you're going to watch out for, but you may not fully trust them with, running a tractor or using certain pieces of equipment or going to town unsupervised, that kind of a thing. And then beyond that, like think like can your neighbors, right? This is people that you trade with, but you want to verify things and you don't, and there's got to be restrictions, right? You're not going to let them know just everything, right? Even stuff that your family knows. Your family's going to have access to kind of your contingency plans and stuff like that, but maybe your neighbors aren't, okay? Your neighbors, you want to trade with them, you want to trust them to an extent, but they kind of need to stay on their side of the fence, so to speak, right? Just because you have a relationship with someone doesn't mean you bring them fully in, right? And you're going to, family members, your kids, like if they don't work out in the fields, you're still going to feed them. But other people, outside the family, you may demand that they put work in. And that's not to say that work always has to look the same, right? Different people with different abilities. You can have disabled people or people who are older or something like that. They may not be able to work out in the field, but they may be able to watch your kids while other people work in the field, right? They may be able to do some kitchen stuff or other less arduous type of work. And so I think that naturally moving to the work for food is absolutely appropriate. And beyond neighbors, then you just have like kind of neutral people, right? People that aren't really, they're not useful to you. You're not really interacting with them so much, except just as it just happens. They're not useful to you, but they're not really a threat to you right now. So you just kind of, you're okay with them. You wave at them and say hi, but you're not really doing business with them, and their business isn't your business, and it needs to kind of stay that way, right? So just think about like different kind of levels of interaction with people, because in that community, you need to build enough of a community to be able to have everything that you need, right? Where are you going to get nails from? Where are you going to get replacement parts for your pump? All these things that you're going to need, you're probably not going to be able to manufacture everything yourself. So you need a group of people that you can kind of get these things from. The trick, though, is to make yourself as self-sufficient as possible. You want to shrink that group of people that you're dependent upon. Because if you're a typical American and you go to the Walmart, your group that you are dependent upon is many, many countries spread over tens of thousands of miles across the planet. The supply chains are just ridiculous. And you are reliant on so many people taking care of you. It's just unbelievable. And as long as the system works, it's great. But will the system continue to work? You need to get yourself down to where you have 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 people that are locally based that are providing everything that you need. That would be ideal. Is that easy to do? No, it's not. But building those relationships. Everywhere you go, try to interact with people now, because it's a lot easier to interact with people now before the collapse than it will be after. All right, folks, that's my self-sufficiency tip of the day. Build relationships with people, buy more local, and it will make you a lot more stable. Steve Poplar out. And here's another video up here where I can see you over there.